I'm just telling you.
All right, I'm telling you, it's not a crime.
But I can still identify who you are.
You can ask, and I can refuse because I haven't committed a crime. You have to have a reasonable and articulable suspicion.
Where are you coming from?
Where are you coming from?
I asked you first.
Well,
Where are you coming from?
what difference would it make? I seriously, what?
They wear the badge to serve and protect, but some use it to intimidate, lie, and cover up their own crimes. In today's video, we're looking at real stories where dirty cops crossed the line and got caught. Thanks to smart citizens who knew their rights and refused to stay silent, justice didn't stay buried. These are moments when female cops made fatal mistakes and paid the price.
Outside, first of all, so a gal came outside, was talking to me. She didn't seem scared at all, and if she was scared, she had a funny way of showing it.
Was she an employee?
This man decided to walk through Bremerton, Washington and test whether people still respect the right to record in public. He stopped outside Washington Federal Bank with a camera in hand to see how employees or passerbys would react. What followed was a mix of friendly chat, odd questions, and unexpected history lessons. But everything changed once a female cop got to the scene.
Just curious what you're up to.
About 6 foot. What are you up to? I'm gonna say about 5'3".
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, no, just taking some pictures of the bank. Pictures.
You gonna do some cleaning you're doing?
No, definitely no cleaning. No clean.
Are we gonna get a new building?
I seriously doubt it.
No.
I seriously doubt it. Let's just say that I am not sent here by Washington Federal.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't work for Washington Federal.
But you're from around here?
No, not really, actually, no.
Gotcha.
How about you? Are you from around here?
I am.
How do you like it? How do you like Bremerton? You know that, what's his face?
The man ended up having a random small talk with a woman who seemed curious about what he was doing. What started with questions about his height and whether he was cleaning turned into a light chat about where they were from and even touched on Scientology. It was a strange but harmless exchange, but wait for the best part.
Scientology. L. Ron Hubbard used to live in Bremerton. Went to high school in Bremerton. Fun fact. Wrote a couple of his little Scientology books in the 1930s and 40s.
I would have to say I don't know who that is.
L. Ron Hubbard. You've heard of Scientology though, right? Scientology is like the big giant cult that like Tom Cruise belongs to, Kirstie Alley, John Travolta.
Okay.
Who else is there? I don't know. That's really the big three, I think. Yeah, Scientology. It's a crazy little cult. It's nuts. But yeah, L. Ron Hubbard. He used to live in Bremerton. It's crazy.
I did a lot of out in Belfair before I came out here.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How do you like these guys? Do they treat you well?
Yeah. Pretty good. I can't complain.
Excellent. Yep. I got no complaints about him either. It's Washington Federal, right? Is that what the WAFED stands for?
A sheriff's deputy showed up after someone reported a suspicious person filming a bank from a public sidewalk. That's when things took a turn. The officer, clearly unsure of the law, began questioning him like he'd done something wrong. Despite being polite, he refused to explain himself, as he had every right. It quickly became clear that she wasn't there because someone got uncomfortable with a camera.
There we go. Friendly neighborhood police officers here. Sheriff's office. I'm assuming there's not a bank robbery going on in there. I walked past this place and they're all dropping to the floor and I was like, what the hell's going on in there? There you go.
Hi, can I help you?
No, thank you. I appreciate you asking.
Okay. Can I ask you why you're standing outside of a bank recording?
Well, you can ask.
Okay. What are you doing?
I'm not going to tell you, but you can ask. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Well, you're the subject of a radio call now because
What was the call about?
Suspicious behavior that you're standing outside of the bank, recording and taking photographs of the bank.
So somebody called and said that I was taking photos?
Yes, with your camera.
On a public sidewalk. And you guys actually came out for that?
Yeah, we sure did.
Crazy.
Why wouldn't we?
I mean, if somebody called and said there's a Jew walking down the
So yes, the officer showed up after someone called about a man filming outside the bank, but even she admitted it wasn't illegal, but still called it suspicious because it made people inside uncomfortable. He explained that being scared doesn't make something a crime and pointed out that an employee even came outside to talk. Despite there being no law broken, the officer still asked for ID, showing confusion about when it's actually required.
The sidewalk. Would you guys respond to that, or is it just people taking pictures? I don't understand. I mean, it's not a crime, nothing illegal.
But it is scary for the people inside. It's concerning.
Well, if it's scary for the people inside,
do you not believe it's concerning if you're outside photographing a bank?
I'll tell you, when people
do you
are,
think that's suspicious, sir?
When I do not actually.
Okay.
When people find things scary, I know fear makes people do strange things. For example, if I was afraid of somebody outside, I wouldn't send a woman out by herself, feet from the man, to confront him. I would, I'd stay inside, first of all. So a gal came outside and was talking to me. She didn't seem scared at all. And if she was scared, she had a funny way of showing it.
Was she an employee?
Yeah, I believe she was, yes.
Okay, well, so who called us was not an employee.
I have no control over that. So somebody called you and they said, there's a man outside taking photographs
of the bank.
Okay, are you under the impression that that's illegal?
What was that?
You're not under the impression that that is a crime, are you?
No, I'm saying it's suspicious behavior
Got it.
that you're standing out front of a bank recording.
Well, there's 10,000 reasons why somebody might be standing outside of a bank recording.
Okay.
And I'll be frank with you, to address...
Do you have any ID on you, sir?
Sure, but
okay.
I'm not a big fan of that, though.
Do you mind handing it?
Under Texas Penal Code 3802, he wasn't required to identify himself unless lawfully arrested. Her demand was baseless. Personally, it's worrying how quickly some officers ignore basic rights, then twist the story later, assuming there's no video to prove otherwise.
It's me.
I do, actually, because I'm not a big fan of forfeiting my Fourth Amendment rights to placate the personal curiosity of yourself or somebody inside of a bank.
It's not of myself.
No.
I didn't just pass along and see you standing here recording and choose to stop you. You were the subject of a radio call. There's a difference there.
It's not a crime.
I'm just telling you.
All right, I'm telling you, it's not a crime.
But I can still identify who you are.
You can ask, and I can refuse because I haven't committed a crime. You have to have a reasonable and articulable suspicion of a crime. Don't you agree,
and I could
Deputy
believe
Dominguez?
that you could be doing this for purposes of committing a crime.
I could be doing this for purposes of committing a crime.
Yeah, you're photographing a bank.
Yeah, I guess I could be, theoretically.
Don't
I'm not.
take my picture.
Are you serious?
Do not take my picture.
Are you serious? I'm taking 32 frames per second. Whoa,
yep.
Whoa, stay away from me. Hey.
And then he just started, he took the camera like this, and I told him get it out of my face, and I tried to move, and he's like, you're gonna not let me take pictures of you, and I kept moving in a circle around him, and I was like, hey, have a good day, bye, and I just walked off.
The deputy demanded not to be filmed, despite being in public where there's no legal expectation of privacy. Under the First Amendment, recording public officials in public spaces is fully protected. When he kept filming, she called him uncooperative and requested backup. Then came the classic deflection, asking if he had been drinking. It's frustrating to see officers treat legal behavior as a threat just because someone knows their rights.
Theoretically.
Don't
I'm not.
take my picture.
Are you serious?
Do not take my picture.
Are you serious? I'm taking 32 frames per second.
Yep.
Whoa, stay away from me. Hey. I will take your picture.
Okay.
It's perfectly legal. Boom.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. Have a good day, sir.
There you go.
Setting up right now, is there a supervisor available? The subject here is uncooperative and refusing to answer any statements.
Also, back up for the man taking your photo. Is that what you're doing? No crime is being committed here.
I walked away
Dominguez.
now. He's
I
continuing
would
to follow me.
suggest-
Don't come any closer. Hey, I'm letting you know, don't come any closer. You can stay right there if you want to
I'm on a
continue to
public
record.
sidewalk. I have
If
every
you want
right
to
to walk
continue to
up this
record, you can stay
I
over
have every
there.
right to walk up this sidewalk.
But don't come any closer.
I'm walking up the sidewalk.
Okay, continue to walk up the sidewalk.
Now I'm watching you. Clearly.
This way, the subject.
Don't take
is
this
not
wrong way, but you've been drinking today?
Have I been
Have you
drinking?
been drinking today?
Copy, thank you. And he is recording just...
The deputy ran inside to rally support from bank staff, not for a crime, but because someone outside had a camera and knew his rights. That was enough to launch a trespass campaign based on feelings. He wasn't accommodating, they said. Translation, he didn't submit. The real issue, he mentioned the Constitution. That's what really made them nervous.
For units to be aware and taking photographs of me. Hello. Hi. Are you guys familiar with this subject outside? No, you've never seen him before?
No, never.
Okay.
He was out there, and Emmy went out and talked to him just to, because we've had people come and take pictures before for different reasons.
Yeah.
And we weren't sure if that was the same thing, so she went out there to talk to him, and he was not accommodating. So.
Did he say anything to you? Why? Or why he's out there for the campaign?
He didn't say why he was out there. It was secret sauce, is how he put it.
Okay.
Except he had like a high-powered camera, so we were kind of worried about what he was trying to look in at the branch, because we have computers and stuff with client information, so. Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys want the subject trespassed?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna go get a form and then I'll have you guys just fill it out and sign it.
Okay.
Is he one of those auditors?
What was that?
Is he one of those first amendment auditor guys?
I don't know.
So annoying.
Yes, he was talking a lot about his rights, but I did not
Yeah,
know.
even that's exactly.
Inside the bank, the deputy pitched a narrative built on assumptions. He wouldn't talk. Must be one of those First Amendment people. That label alone triggered a call for backup, not because he broke the law, but because he knew it. Zooming with a camera became a security concern, not because of what he captured, but because they couldn't control it.
I'm in the bank right now, talking about the subjects, the victims of RPs. He's still on the commission. Oh, there he is. I have a feeling, just so you guys know I'm on, I have a feeling he's like a First Amendment person and rights. I don't know. He wouldn't talk. He didn't want to give me any info. He didn't want to give me his name. So I told him I'll start a supervisor this way then. They're concerned because he has been like zooming in with the camera. They don't know what he's trying to take pictures of inside the bank because he's standing on the other side where the window is. They want him trespassed. They don't want him.
The deputy turned a basic interaction into a drama scene. She circled the man like he was a threat, then accused him of following her for standing his ground. She acted like his camera was a weapon, as if filming her actions created danger. Public sidewalks became off limits the moment her authority felt challenged. She didn't ask for a supervisor to help. She asked for backup to save face.
On the property right now.
Back? Yeah.
He posted up on the property, so he already probably knows the game.
Yeah. So I figured whenever the supervisor gets here, I'll let them make that call if it's worth us trying to ID him.
Supervisor?
No, I called one. I'll explain after what. And then he just started. He like took the camera like this, and I told him get it out of my face, and I tried to move. And he's like, "You're gonna not let me take pictures of you," and I kept moving in a circle around him. And I was like, "Hey, have a good day, bye," and I just walked off. And he just like followed me up, and I was like, "I told you to stop. You can wait on the sidewalk. Don't come any closer." And he was like, "I can't walk on the sidewalk." And I told him, "Yeah, you can walk on the sidewalk. Stay on the sidewalk then."
So, if the bank just wants him trespass and he's going to refuse to identify himself, then just fill out a trespass.
The deputy rewrote the story for her team. She exaggerated, twisted words, and made herself the victim. In the bank, she pressured the staff until they agreed to trespass him, not because they wanted to, but because she led them there. Her goal was validation, so she created a threat and sold it to her peers. Started printing out paperwork to make it real.
Pass form, and just take a picture of him, and that's it. Verbally tell him, hey, you're not allowed back here, you're not for a year or whatever, and you can come back if you're trespassing, and that's about it. But he can stand on the sidewalk on public property and record as much as he wants. So.
Yeah. He was like, "I don't know why they'd send a woman out here to confront me if I'm so scary." And I was like, "Well, the employees didn't call us. It was someone else." I don't know, he was being very...
So who wants some trespass then? The employees?
The bank. They said that they are concerned.
So if I were you, I'd just, do you have any of those trespass forms?
Yeah, I'm going to have them go print one and then fill it out.
We'll just print it and start filling it out, and we'll just hang out. If you want to pull over here.
Yeah, thanks.
Print 2 so you can keep one and hand one to him.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to...
Yeah,
I mean, he might want one, honestly.
She switched roles the moment backup arrived. Suddenly, she played the scared officer and painted herself as the one under attack. Her story changed based on who was listening. With the bank, she was in charge. With her peers, she played the victim. She used every tool she had to hold on to it.
Might want it, but...
I'll print 3 copies because I probably want it to be there.
Deputy speaking. Hey, what's up, buddy? Well, I think it's a first. I'm gonna go mute here.
Are we all good? Did you guys set Dominguez straight? She seemed real scared.
Yeah, he's being a dick.
Good here?
He's all screaming at me now, so yeah.
I don't want to leave in the middle of like a police investigation. That's a mix.
Everyone knew he had the right to be there. Taking pictures in public, no matter how uncomfortable it made them, wasn't illegal. They all knew it. That's exactly why they pushed so hard to paint him as a threat. They couldn't stop him lawfully, so they tried to box him in with paperwork and fake fear. His only offense? Holding onto a camera and refusing to kneel.
Dominguez seemed really scared.
Saying that Dominguez is really scared.
I just want to make sure you guys are good. You just know I'm just a guy out taking pictures.
Just a guy out here taking pictures is what he's saying. So, alright. I think the plan is we're going to issue him a trespass notice. And whether he takes it or not, he's not supposed to come into the bank. We'll have him on camera. Huh? Or be on the bank or bank property. Well, he's on the sidewalk now. Yeah, so we'll hand him the trespass notice. If he wants to sign it, he can sign it. If not, we'll just hand it to him and I'll be done with it.
She claimed he invaded her space with a camera, even though her own body cam captured the entire counter from the start. The real discomfort came from being recorded by someone she couldn't control. That's why she retreated and left others to clean it up. Her fear wasn't of danger, her fear was of being held accountable on video.
It doesn't matter if you accept or not, if we have your image. If you come onto the property, you'll be arrested for trespass. I don't know. He's getting the camera right in her face, like encroaching on her personal space. So, yeah, I would agree, but that I wasn't there. I don't know.
So it seems Deputy Dominguez, the fragile little snowflake that she is, she got really scared when I started aiming the camera at her, which is really weird because I'd been recording her 32 frames per second from the minute she approached me. So I can't make heads or tails out of that. That's just bizarre. But now we've got, well, I think she left, tucked her tail between her legs and ran. The camera scared her. I got this guy here. I don't know who this fellow is. And we've got this one here. And then there's another fellow over here. I think they're just trying to double check and verify that the First Amendment hasn't been rescinded yet.
The deputy disappeared from the scene, but the show carried on without her. Her colleagues stayed behind, casually discussing how to deliver the trespass notice without too much effort. They labeled the man as taunting just because he filmed and spoke confidently. They were just a group of officers trying to save face for one of their own. She left, but her narrative stayed alive through them.
Alright, well, he's videotaping me as I'm walking around my cell phone, so I'm going to get off. Alright, so the game plan, as I understand it, Tony's going to issue him trespass notice and tell him he's trespassed. I don't think we need to go up and force to do that. Somebody with Dominguez would be fine.
I don't care. I can go up there. But...
or even we can do it for her.
Yeah.
But he's kind of taunting.
Yeah, I heard him.
So, Sarge doesn't necessarily need to come up.
He doesn't need to be here. Yeah, I was wondering why Connie said she'll explain later, but I don't know why we need a Sarge here. He's just getting trespassed.
Yeah. Because in case he wants to, he might get chippy and ask for a sergeant. In California, that's what would happen. You start sergeant this way when somebody's getting in this situation.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought maybe he had asked for a sergeant or something like that.
I initially thought that as well. So we should see what car he's in. We should see what car he's in.
I'm sure he's walking. He's probably lives in these apartments up here or something.
So far, the Brimmer...
Dominguez left the scene, but she didn't go far. She hid on the other side of the bank, hoping the man who knew the law better than she did would eventually give up and just walk away. When that didn't happen, she slipped back inside to finish what she had started. Alongside the bank employees, she pushed the narrative to the end, not because of any law, but because her pride demanded it.
Washington Police Department has done great. So far, the Kitsap County Sheriff's Office, not impressed at all. Officer Deputy Dominguez, holy cow, that gal seemed like she's afraid of her own shadow, for God's sake. She aimed a camera at her and she starts freaking out. Girl, don't you wear a camera all day long at work? It's bizarre.
You don't even know who he is.
We don't. So you just want to figure out or fill out this portion. Trespass property. Okay. And then you'll have to check, parking lot, driveway, other 1 year, or if there's another that you choose, like time frame. And then your name, like just manager, and your initials if you want, or something, or property owner, authorized agent, and then reason.
So this one.
But you'll do that on all three, because you'll get a copy.
Oh, okay.
He'll get a copy, and the department will keep a copy.
Okay. He just doesn't.
The mood shifted fast. Jokes replaced procedure, and suddenly they were swapping taser fantasies like it was a coffee break. Behind the humor, Dominguez stayed hidden, still hoping the man would vanish on his own. Inside, they pieced together a version of events that fit her pride, not the facts. Even the bank admitted he never stepped on their property, but that truth didn't serve the story they had already committed to.
I don't know. I couldn't do it. I don't have patience to be a police officer. My nephew does it. I just, that taser would be deployed so many times.
That's why you're not a police officer.
That's exactly right. 100%. They'd have done the psychology thing.
Dominguez walked back into the bank holding the trespass paperwork like it proved something. She needed a witness, and the other officer standing beside her volunteered without hesitation. No one questioned the story. They created the version they needed, passed around forms, and shared contact details like it was routine, and in that room, that was all she needed to turn fiction into documentation.
There's always one. She was young, she needed the money.
I know, not the new one.
Here is that. And then do you have like a work phone number?
Thanks for coming out.
Area
No worries.
360
He's just
479 4040.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
yeah. Did he come in and do any banking in here?
No. We just happened to notice him. He was out the window, and then what Dollar General, he said, called over here to tell us too.
Yeah, there was somebody taking pictures.
And he was very good about not getting on the property though.
Okay.
He just set up and was recording.
Okay.
So did he ever come onto the property at all?
Not that we saw.
No, he was just having his cameras and his camera phone
just facing inside the windows, trying to get...
He did trip and fall and hit the grass, though.
All right.
Outside.
Well, he's been outside asking for you, just so you know.
Of course, okay. Yeah, I'll go contact him in a sec. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
If he comes back, let us know. And
it's all ready to go.
yeah, I just need the
signatures and location served.
Yeah. I'm gonna go put it out there because I gotta get the case number.
He's back. I'm gonna go kill the lights. Oh wait, we don't want him to know we're leaving yet.
I don't know if we'll be able to ID him. He did not
Likely we will
want to
not.
provide his name.
Imagine that.
So,
He did get his mask on, so he might be able to get something.
I'll give you my email address and you can just email me a picture if you have one of him when he takes his mask down, and I can just add it.
Sure. You want me to be your witness?
Yeah, sure.
Can
I'll put you then now?
Yep.
Yeah, he got quite loud when she was trying to talk to him. He was.
He tried to take some pictures of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a soft talker. So sense.
Even after confirming he committed no crime, they still organized a quiet approach like he was a suspect on the run. One officer offered to bring a trainee. Another casually agreed to tag along with Dominguez. The goal was to corner the man who had embarrassed them. And deep down, they all knew he wasn't the problem. They were.
Have at it.
If you believe that.
You make me laugh.
It's not about her.
Just because.
Let's do it. Should have my trainee go up with you?
What?
Do you want me or my trainee?
Well, I wrote you down.
Okay.
I don't want any.
Yeah. Okay.
He walked out that way somewhere. Okay.
Like, am I free to go? And I was like, well, man, you haven't committed a crime. You're not being detained. So.
He was videotaping from inside.
Oh, from inside?
He was videotaping from the window inside, so we'll go this way in case we see him.
I don't think you can see. You can't come up this way without getting on.
All right, let's go just talk to him. We don't need to go in force. I'll go with Dominguez. Gotta sit tight.
They got all the windows blocked successfully. There you go. Paranoid bank employees. I'm walking by and honestly, yes I am. I'll have to check this out online. I might get arrested here in about 2 minutes. So
she came back with the paper like it proved something, reading her lines while cameras rolled from every angle. The man stood calmly, still holding the one thing they couldn't control, the truth. He never stepped on their property, but that didn't matter. They wanted the illusion of authority. Viewers, take a good look. This is what happens when a badge meets a citizen who actually knows their rights. She hated every second of it.
if you want to stick around, I'll tell you, take some footage of this if these guys arrest me, because I'm not going to forfeit my Fourth Amendment rights. They try to identify. One go, you'll see it. You'll see the view. Yeah, it's bizarre, absolutely bizarre. Dominguez, are you still afraid of a camera? It looks like you got multiple cameras on you.
I'm serving you with a trespass notice.
Sweet.
The bank is trespassing you from the property.
From their property.
From
Sure.
their property, yes,
Yeah,
correct.
I got no problem with
if
that.
you trespass on their property, they will call us and you will be arrested.
Well, they're going to call you whether I trespass on their property or not, Dominguez.
Okay.
I haven't stepped foot on their property. Bless your heart. Okay, all right.
Okay.
Wait. You're not over her by chance, are you?
Sign it?
Do you have more seniority over? I do not want to sign that. Absolutely not. Dominguez, nice try.
Here's your copy.
Oh, thanks. Wait. Let me see. What does that say exactly?
You don't want the copy?
I'm just taking a look at it. Yeah, I'll take that. Sure. Peering into bank windows with camera recording. Interesting. All right.
The moment the backup showed up, Dominguez found her confidence again, but the man saw her earlier backing away from the camera like it was a weapon. He didn't need to raise his voice or step off the sidewalk. All he needed was to stand firm. The real panic didn't come from danger. It came from being exposed. So remember this face. She wore the badge, but he held the power the whole time.
Yeah, I'd get some additional training, Dominguez. You're scared of your own shadow. I'm walking up a sidewalk. You're 40 feet away and said, don't come any closer to me.
Did I tell you I was going to do anything to you? No.
You clearly panicked when I aimed a camera at you on the sidewalk. You panicked.
Am I panicked right now?
A lot. No, you're not panicked right now because you got some backup here for you. All by yourself.
You think I'm scared, sir?
I think you're chicken shit when you're all by yourself.
Okay,
all right.
You can believe whatever you want to believe, sir.
Well, I saw it with my own eyes. I mean, who do I believe? You or my lying eyes? All right.
You can believe
You're dismissed without further argument, Dominguez.
Okay, you have a good day, sir.
I'm having a great day. I'm having a great day. You guys have a good one.
Take care.
Seriously, get her some extra training. She's scared of her own shadow.
Okay.
I thought it was our right to record in public places.
That final moment said everything. Dominguez ended her retreat, the walk of shame from someone exposed by her own fear. The paper in his hand claimed he committed an offense by standing on a sidewalk with a camera. That was the story they tried to write. But the real story played out on film. You just watched a citizen remind the system who really holds the line.
5772. Charles. Paul. 5572.
Now, not for the gentleman here, but for Dominguez, this is what we call a walk of shame. See her walking away. She's afraid of her own shadow. Afraid the camera's being aimed at her.
Yeah, continue
Doesn't
recording
understand
people.
where her rights are. Get help, Dominguez. Get help. Don't want to sign this. Check this shit out. Okay, let me show you. So here's what we've got here. Let me do this. Boop. Peering into bank windows with camera recording from a public sidewalk. From a public sidewalk. Yeah. Dominguez.
You could tell by the way they left they couldn't wait to get away from this man simply because he was smarter than them. Sometimes the number of officers doesn't matter when they're up against a citizen who can't be shaken. So let this be a reminder. No matter what, never give up your rights.
You want to sign this? Yeah. I should have signed it. Eat shit. Bless her little heart. Now we haven't seen Dominguez leave yet, so we'll stick around and keep recording. See if when she drives away, if her tail is tucked between her legs, is sticking out the car door. She seems like a type that wouldn't pull her tail in all the way before she shut her door. Dominguez is going out the back gate. I love it. She doesn't want to drive past me, laughing at her all the way. Good times, good times. So I think the moral of the story here is that the
worst part is that these officers walked away thinking they were right. It's interesting how many of them see the badge as a source of power, even though they're supposed to serve the people. What kind of punishment do you think they deserve? In my opinion, losing qualified immunity would be enough to make them think twice before targeting a citizen without cause. But if you thought these cops were bad, let's move on to the next case. Another moment when a female cop made a fatal mistake happened during a routine third shift. Two police officers decided it was a good time to approach someone and boost their egos. By chance, they picked a man who was simply walking down the street at night and filming, something protected by the Constitution and his basic civil rights. However, they, especially the female officer, seemed to have other plans.
Where? Right here. Right here? I can't see because of the light.
Okay, what are you doing?
Where do you want me to stand?
Right there.
Where?
What are y'all doing?
Right here where I'm at, or I can't see because of the light.
Why do you have that over your face?
Because of COVID. Why? What's up?
You got your ID on you? Let me see your ID.
Why?
Let me see your ID.
For what?
Let me see your ID.
For what? I'm asking for
because
what?
you're being a suspicious person right now. Let me see your ID. If you don't give me your ID, if you don't give me your ID, you can go to jail.
Jail for what?
Failure to identify.
Okay. Are we under arrest?
You're being detained right now.
Okay.
For suspicious activity.
3802 says we're only failing to identify if we're already under arrest and we failed to identify at that point. We'll give false information
I have
for
a witness
crime.
who says that y'all been looking in vehicles.
Okay, is that a crime? That's not a crime. Looking in vehicles.
Well, when you're being very suspicious.
Oh look, the classic move, asking for ID like she's handing out flyers, then jumping straight to jail threats. This is what happens when someone wears a badge and thinks it makes them a lawyer. Suspicious behavior, she says, but when asked what exactly was done wrong, suddenly there's a mystery witness. And just wait, because it only gets messier from there.
Suspicious about it.
How?
With the flashlight.
You don't know. We could be looking for a dog or a cat. What do you mean?
Inside a vehicle?
Did you see us look in vehicles?
Inside a vehicle.
Did you see us look in the vehicles, ma'am?
a witness did, who I can attach to a report. So you have.
Where's the witness?
She's right there.
You talking about the young lady that was hiding in the car and he like lit her up to see what she was doing because he thought she might be burglarizing? Is that the person you're talking about? No. I don't know. Talk this forward.
Tell her to identify.
Call the sergeant.
To a police officer.
Call the sergeant.
3802 says you only have to identify if you've been lawfully arrested. Am I under arrest for something?
Now she's pretending lighting up a car isn't a thing she just did while gaslighting the guy for daring to question it. Notice how fast she flips from confused to offended the moment she hears something she doesn't understand. Suddenly, a foreign world becomes suspicious, too, as if not knowing what it means makes it criminal. This is Ego on patrol, and trust me, it's about to spiral.
Then how we can't fail to ID if we're not under arrest?
You can't fail to ID then.
I don't get it.
How long have you been a police officer?
Hey, are we free to leave?
And he was in there flashing the lights in the car, and I said, "What are you doing?" That's her mom.
So you got two people sitting in a car and he lit you up to see what you were doing to make sure you weren't burglarizing the
He
car?
lit up that white car right there.
Okay.
And he was
I'm
looking
not lying.
inside of it.
Yes, you are.
No,
And I
I'm
said-
not.
and I-
You don't know what I'm doing.
Every single car.
I didn't light up anything.
Yeah. And I asked, "What are you doing?" He said, "Shalami Hala," is what he said. What does Shalami Hala mean? I'll go get you. Okay.
So you don't even know what it means, but you think it's a bad thing?
Okay.
I didn't lie anything. You're the one lying. Good gosh.
Y'all been going to each car.
No.
And here comes the usual routine. Demand their address like it's a job interview, then play the victim when someone pushes back. Suddenly, asking why becomes disrespectful. Classic. Raise your voice a little, now you're a threat. Meanwhile, she's barking questions like a drill sergeant and inventing a guy named Mark for moral backup. Who's Mark? No idea. But apparently he's the new chief of feelings.
So what are y'all doing?
Walking down the street.
Okay, why are y'all, where do you live?
Why? What does it matter? We haven't done anything
I'm
wrong.
asking a question.
Hey,
Chill out.
hey,
Okay,
Chill
where
out.
do you live?
Hey, you don't need
Where
to raise
do
your
you
voice
live?
like that. Why does it matter where we live?
Where do you live?
Why are you raising your voice like that?
Where do you live?
Why?
Okay.
Call the sergeant. Call the sergeant.
I am.
Okay. Call the supervisor. You're raising your voice, being very disrespectful. Mark wouldn't appreciate it. Mark would not appreciate it. Mark would not.
Screaming.
You're screaming at us.
Who are you to scream at
That's
me? I
That's
paid your salary.
unprofessional.
How am I being disrespectful?
You're screaming in our face. That's very
When
disrespectful.
did I get inside your face?
Just now. The
No,
body,
sir.
your body cam shows
Because-
that.
Because you came to me.
You came to
Talking about
us.
How?
You stopped us.
Okay, a witness just saw you.
Notice how fast she jumps from suspicious to criminal and back again like she's flipping a switch based on what sounds scarier. Spoiler alert, shining a flashlight isn't a felony. But when logic fails, she pivots to tactics, suddenly worried about tactical advantage, like she's in an action movie. Meanwhile, she's yelling in their faces and inventing danger where there is none, and the show's not over.
Several cars.
Several cars?
Several cars.
Uh-huh.
What they said.
So if we put a light on a car, that's criminal activity, yes or no?
Suspicious activity.
Is criminal activity, yes or no?
Suspicious activity.
But that's not criminal. Thank you. Call the sergeant. Hey, it's not a good tactical advantage to put your back to us. Well, I mean, you haven't patted us down. You don't know if we have weapons. All right, guys, so...
Now it's suspicious to wear a mask during a pandemic. Brilliant! Suddenly, flashlight checking brake lights turns into a full-blown investigation. They're not enforcing laws, they're policing vibes. When logic runs dry, they fill the gaps with paranoia and personal taste. If that's how they define suspicion, imagine what else they're making up. Stick around.
You want us to sit on the curb? a mask?
It's a mask. It's COVID.
COVID. It's
Yes, it is.
It's a COVID mask.
Now you're the fashion police? Sitting in a vehicle and you put a flashlight on them.
Yeah, and they kept stomping on their brakes. So that again, you know, they're being very rude.
Patrick saw somebody sitting in a vehicle. It was suspicious, and so he put a flashlight on them.
She gets in his face, yells like it's a street fight, and suddenly he's being defensive for not sharing where he's walking from. Since when is walking down the street a cross-examination? Watch how quickly the power flips, demands answers, and refuses to give any, and accuse the other side of being uncooperative. If you think this is the worst part, oh, just wait.
So this lady officer was demanding ID because she flashed this person in the car and these people didn't. She got in his face screaming and yelling.
Yeah, back up on the way.
So where are y'all coming from?
That way.
Lopez?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hey,
Where are
Lopez.
y'all coming from?
Where are you
That way.
coming from?
I asked you first.
Well,
Where are you coming from?
what difference would it make? Seriously, what difference would it make if you knew?
Because, okay, but why are you being so defensive about it? That's not what I'm understanding.
I'm not being defensive.
Yes, sir, you are. You're
Okay.
not giving me no information.
So,
but
not giving you
besides-
information is being
okay,
defensive?
You have given me.
The old guilty until proven innocent routine. She's accusing people of planning burglaries based on walking and a flashlight. Nothing like guessing someone's intentions and calling it a probable cause. Her logic, if you don't live here, you must be criminal. Newsflash, that's just not how any of this works. And when caught in contradiction, she just invents new reasons to detain them. But what happens when suspicion replaces evidence?
One thing, I've asked you, what are you doing?
And he explained
And
that
then where
to
I
you.
live, how does that have anything to do with what you're
Okay,
doing?
but how do I know that you don't live in this area? How do I know that you're not here to burglarize independent vehicles?
Are you accusing me of that?
Have you? Okay, well, I mean, I could because I have a witness who stated that you were shining lights in front of all these cars.
No, he
That
put
you
a
were
flashlight
shining lights?
into the car where those
Okay,
people were
why?
sitting.
Why?
Because it's suspicious. You talk about suspicious
Okay,
activity.
but
These people
instead of-
sitting in an unlit
okay, but
car.
if you're suspicious, how come you didn't call it in?
You just pulled up. You just did that. We were walking away and it's like
Okay, but
everything
you
seemed
could have
fine.
acknowledged her. How come you didn't acknowledge her?
He
You
did.
just
He was
turned
standing
your
there talking to her when you pulled up.
Are we still?
I'm saying, how come you didn't acknowledge her?
Are we?
I wasn't talking to
Can
her.
we
I'm
leave?
standing over here. She's
Can-
talking to
waiting for
him.
backup.
Can we not leave?
I'm waiting for backup.
Can we not leave?
Not right now.
Why? So
She keeps repeating, "You're being detained." Like saying it louder will make it lawful. No crime, no arrest, no clue, just ego wrapped in a badge. And when he flips the script asking if he could shine a light on her car, she panics. Of course it's different when the power shifts, because this was never about safety. And guess what? They're only just warming up.
I already said at the beginning.
Are we detained?
I already said at the beginning.
So I can't leave. I cannot leave.
I already said at the beginning you're being detained.
Can I leave?
For what
Not right
crime?
now.
Okay, so we can't leave. I don't understand why, but so we're being
There's
detained.
no crime.
So it's okay for
Unbelievable.
me to go shine my flashlight on your vehicle?
You do it all the
do it all the
time.
time.
No, I don't.
Sure you do.
No, I don't.
Sure you do.
Well, you're not in it, so it's okay for me to go up and down these streets and shine my flashlight on all these vehicles.
You're trying
If
to
there's somebody
cosplay
sitting in a
through the camera.
vehicle, sure.
No, I'm
You're
being
trying
dead
to-
serious. Like, will I? That's not. I wouldn't.
Good evening. Do you guys live down here? I just got here. I don't.
Walking down a public street.
Backup finally shows up, another officer, as if he's going to bring some sense into the mess, but no, he's just as bad. Instead of calming things down, he picks up right where she left off, piling on guesses and accusations like they're facts. Now we're criminalizing brake lights and imaginary weed smoke based on pure guesswork. Suddenly, whatever they're doing is enough to build a narrative without evidence needed.
some people sitting in a car. There's no lights on. The engine's running.
Okay.
The back lights keep flashing like somebody's struggling in the car.
Okay.
He puts a flashlight into the car.
Okay.
There's two people sitting in there smoking dope or whatever they're doing down there.
Okay.
We walk on. She
Okay.
pulled up. The lady that's in the car pulls up over here, asked him why he shined the light. He
Right.
said he answered her.
Okay.
And that wasn't good
Okay,
enough.
but hold on. You didn't explain that story to me at all.
I've told you this same story
you
3
did
or 4
not.
different times,
No,
lady.
you did not.
Yes, I did.
No, you did not. Till
And
you
then
just
you're going to
started
get in his
recording.
face screaming and yelling
Not
at
till
him?
you just started recording
Oh.
is whenever you said the story.
Okay.
I've asked
It's
you,
on
what
your
are you
dash.
doing
It's on
the
your body
street?
camera. It's on
I
your body
asked
camera.
you, what were you doing on the street? Walking is exactly what you told me.
That's exactly what I said, and that's exactly what I'll tell you right now. What am I doing? I'm walking down this public
Did
street.
you not give this officer more details?
Now they're officially a team united by not facts but ego. One shouts detain while the other backs it up with vague suspicions and flimsy logic. Flashing a light for safety somehow becomes a group offense. Walking at night is practically confession. They're not enforcing the law, they're doubling down on nonsense to save face, and the worst part, they think no one notices.
Detail? Did you not give this officer
I
more
told
detail?
him the exact same thing I just
No,
told
you
him.
did not.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
It's on your body camera.
Okay.
Yeah,
So again,
get the
you
supervisor
gentlemen
to review it.
Live in this area, just because I'm curious.
I'm sorry, what was your
You
question?
gentlemen live in this area.
I'm not going to answer any more questions. She's told me I'm detained. I'm going to do what my lawyer says I should do, and I'm just going to shut up.
Okay, you're not. Okay, listen. You're stopped because someone said that you guys were flashing lights and things. That's the
That's
whole
not a crime.
reason you're here.
It's not a crime.
It is weird to be doing it at 1 a.m. though.
It's not a crime.
She said we're not free to leave, so
Yeah, it's
We-
not a
we-
crime.
we don't-
I'm waiting to hear what crime I'm being accused of.
I'm not accusing you of anything.
She did. She's detained me.
I mean, you're being suspicious.
Because I'm walking down a public street with a flashlight instead of being in the dark so that I don't get run over by a car.
But if you're not, okay, so if you're telling
The moment someone knows their rights, the power trip kicks into high gear. And these officers weren't looking for cooperation, they were demanding submission. The citizens stayed calm, quoted the law, and even offered a pat down to ease their imaginary fears, but none of that mattered. And Texas Penal Code 3802 makes it clear no ID is required unless you're under arrest. But facts don't fuel power trips. Ego does.
why won't you explain if you live in the neighborhood or not?
Because it's none of your business. I might have been a little more forthcoming with you if you hadn't gotten in his face screaming. Okay, at this
I
point,
never got in his
yes,
yes, you did. It's on your body
Okay.
camera.
you did.
It's on your body camera.
Okay.
So I'm done dealing with you. You're going to detain me. Okay, that's fine. I'll stand here for as long as you want me to stand here, or about 20 minutes, which is all you can detain me for. And then I'm going to go on my merry way and go back to what I was doing, which is taking a nice walk and enjoying the evening.
If it makes y'all feel better, you can pat us down for weapons. We don't have any weapons.
I'm not worried about weapons.
It's not illegal to go armed in Texas.
No, it is not.
But if you want to
I
go ahead,
never came at you thinking you had a weapon.
well,
Never.
you were very aggressive with us. You got in my face, 5 inches from me, screaming, "Give me your ID!" It's failure to identify.
You for your ID.
You can see exactly what kind of officers we're dealing with. She threatens arrest for failure to identify, then freezes the moment someone starts calling her bluff and cites the law word for word. Texas Penal Code 3802 is basic training, not optional, not advanced, just basic. If you wear a badge and don't know it, you don't belong in uniform, and yes, it's about to get even more outrageous.
You said it was failure to identify and you were going to arrest us. That's what you said.
I mean,
Is it? Is that not what you said?
exactly what I said.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, cuff me. Let's go.
What am I going to cuff you for right
Failure to
now?
identify.
Failure to identify. That's what you said. You said you're going to arrest me for failure to ID. I am not going to give you my name. I'm not going to give you my date of birth. I'm not going to give you anything. Arrest me. Let's go. There's my wrist. Come on, cuff me up. Let's go. 3802 says you only have to identify in the state of Texas you're
Okay.
lawfully arrested, not detained,
Okay.
not a witness. You should know this. Have you not had any training on this at all? How about you?
What?
Are you familiar with Texas 3802?
Yes.
Yeah. What does it say?
Huh?
Did I not just quote it correctly?
Yeah, more or less.
Okay.
Listen, I'm not asking for your identity. I'm asking if you live around here because they have people who walk around here breaking into vehicles. That's the sole reason I'm asking.
Well, you guys should be out here patrolling in Texas.
This man speaks from experience. He knows exactly how targeted harassment begins with a casual question, a fake smile, and a badge. Officers collect information they have no right to ask, then use it later when no one's filming. He brings up his black son because he's seen what happens next. This isn't a conversation, this is groundwork for future abuse. And what they do next makes their intentions even clearer.
I'm not asking for your address. I'm asking.
Why? I tell you where I live, and then you guys will be like riding up and down, get my plate numbers and taking me out, and then like pulling my kids over, planting drugs on them, all kinds of stuff.
That's not gonna happen.
You know, I have a black son. I don't need this. I don't need you guys harassing my son.
I'm just asking. Do you live in the area? That's it.
I'm not going to tell you anything. You don't even need to know.
My attorney has told me not to talk to the police, especially when I'm being detained.
Yeah.
And we're under detainment right now. We don't want to talk about anything. Yeah.
And you haven't activated your body camera, have you?
Yeah.
Okay, good deal. I'll make sure.
Okay. So you said it was, which vehicle was it?
She parked there.
Pulled on already? Was that the vehicle that they flashed the light in?
Third vehicle on the left, right down there.
The one that had the lights on a minute ago?
Yeah. Got two females in it, one white, one Hispanic.
Okay. And they were just sitting in the car?
Yeah, the car was rustling around like they were struggling. The back lights were flashing on and off, so he put the flashlight into the car. Other than that, we're walking down the street. You know, do we have flashlights on? Absolutely. We don't want to get run over. What's the big deal?
Okay.
You know, it's a shame.
This man knew the report wouldn't match the footage and knew the department would protect its own. That blue line didn't stand for justice, it stood for cover-ups, for shielding reckless behavior that put everyone at risk. The officer denied everything even with a camera rolling, and their performance only got worse from here.
Or to recording because of the way you're behaving.
How am I behaving?
Well, you're being all nice now, but your body camera will tell a different story.
Okay.
But of course, Mark Herman's not going to release that. When I go down there and do a public records request, he's going to hide it to protect you, and that's fine. That's that whole blue line gang thing, and I get it, you know. But to act that way is senseless, it's needless, and you are a hazard to other officers. You're a hazard to yourself. You're a hazard to other officers.
Okay.
So,
I mean, if that's how you feel, but
are we 20 minutes in yet?
Let's not forget how you were shining your flashlight.
I didn't shine anything on that. I didn't do it.
You, your friend, it don't matter who, but the flashlights were being shined in vehicles.
It does matter who. So if he goes and robs the bank, you're going to arrest me for it? It does matter.
We have had burglaries in this neighborhood, burglaries of motor vehicle in this neighborhood.
Did somebody say we broke into a car?
Okay.
Well, thank God we're out here shining lights around to make sure no burglars are around. You should be thanking us. Maybe the neighborhood association needs to get a different contract deputy out here. I don't know, but I don't know what your deal is. That whole aggressive thing is just...
I was never being
The officer tried to rewrite the moment once the camera was on, pretending everything had been calm until then. She played the victim while ignoring how close she had stood, how aggressive she had acted. Her behavior created risk when there was none. That man stayed calm, even joked about not wanting to get shot. He knew the stakes, but she didn't care.
Your body cam will tell a different story.
Because I asked for an ID, I asked what y'all were doing here. You didn't start the way you're speaking now is when you started reporting as well.
Of course.
Okay, so let's not forget how you were being before. I'm not. My hand's nowhere near my weapon.
I'm just saying, I don't want to get. I've got a black mask on. You may think I'm a black man.
I
don't
have
want
a
to get
black
shot.
mask as well.
I'm saying I don't want to get shot. I would never get in your face the way you got in his face. It's unsafe. It is unsafe. It's unprofessional. I would never do that. And if I did that to you, what would happen to me?
Okay.
You were literally within 12 inches of him.
I was not, but okay.
Okay.
That's fine.
Your body cam will
okay. Again, that's fine. My body cam, your cam, either or.
All right. Are we done yet? We got. We're 12 minutes into this. You got about 8 minutes.
They stalled. They stumbled over each other's words and couldn't even agree on whether a supervisor was called. The confusion wasn't accidental. It was controlled. When the man mentioned filing a complaint, they brushed it off like it meant nothing. And saddest of all for them, it was nothing because they were the center of everything.
Did you call for a supervisor? Were we waiting for a supervisor?
Are you going to let us go? We're still being detained.
Called for a supervisor.
She just asked him, are you going to let...
Do you want one? I can get you one.
Or I thought she called. She said that.
I said my partner.
No. You said you were calling. I asked.
No, she called me.
But she asked. Supervisor.
I did say I was, and then I said I called my partner.
You want a supervisor?
Sure.
Okay.
We want to put a complaint in on Lopez.
All right.
That's fine.
They'll review the footage back at the station and see what you did. So you might as well arrest us, to cover up the complaint. Might as well arrest us to cover the complaint, Lopez. And civil liability. Hey, and let dispatch know we're detained, because you didn't do that earlier.
In the end, they let them go. Suddenly, the voices softened and the attitude vanished. They acted polite as if that could erase everything they had just done. They played professional for the camera, hoping the final scene would cover the mess they had made, but every second was recorded. The threats, the lies, the intimidation. That fake kindness wasn't decency.
In my face. Yeah, literally in my face.
There goes your witnesses. You may want to grab those witnesses before they leave. Probably should shake down that car.
Actually, they turned the corner a minute ago.
Oh, there you left? Okay.
No, those two cars came from off that cross street.
Okay.
Yeah, you may want to go down there. I think those witnesses are still in their cars. I'd shake that car down. I think you'll find something really fun in it.
The car's still sitting there.
Yeah.
Maybe these police officers were trying to show off their power, but in the end, they just kind of looked silly. The worst part is they probably already found their next victim. It just goes on and on like that, again and again, until they meet someone who doesn't really know their rights. Have you ever dealt with police who think the rules don't apply to them? Tell us in the comments. You'd think things couldn't get any worse, but believe it or not, they do. Just when it seems like you've seen the worst here, another story comes along and takes it even further. So don't miss what's coming next. Hit that follow button. Get ready for the next video because it's one you'll want to see.